A wine cellar, a child pageant queen, an unsolved murder. I'm Jason Horton.
I'm Rebecca Lieb.
And this is Ghost Town.
Ooh, have I got something for you?
I'm ready.
It's pretty exciting.
I'm ready to be excited.
So first and foremost, I was very into like true crime stuff as a kid. And then I kind of like bled into ghost stuff, supernatural, then more like haunted history. I feel like it went from like kind of more specific to general. But
You're back.
I'm back, baby.
Back in the saddle.
I'm here. I'm ready to go. We're moving forward. But this is a special one because I was thinking about what episode I wanted to do, and this will come out on the 19th, which will give you a lot of time right before Christmas. There's a lot of like Christmas-themed murders.
Yeah.
But this one is very, very close to my heart because I feel like we watched it unfold. Like it was one of the first things that I ever was kind of conscious of happening on a national level.
And then 24-hour TV is well full in effect at this time.
Absolutely.
So
like this is the 90s.
Coverage is nonstop.
Absolutely. So today I'm going to talk about 755 15th Street in Boulder, Colorado, the JonBenet Ramsey house. Yeah. It's pretty fucking great.
Yeah.
It's also like, it's so picturesque. Like there's so many things that are happening in the story. Every detail is so interesting and juicy. It's not like, oh, there's like a bunch of bullshit. It's like, no, the paper is from the pad of the house. Like every bit that came out in 96 and beyond was like, holy fuck. But first I want to talk about the house. And I printed out some pictures for you to look at. It's a giant like alpine house. It's like, very green. It's super like, I mean, these are pictures from when it went on sale in 2014, which was the latest piece of news that I kind of read up on. But it's expansive. It's really nice.
It's like both the first and last place you think a murder would happen.
Exactly. And it's almost like McMansion-y in a way, but it's kind of like, it's like beautiful and ugly. Like the rooms have, there's exposed brick on the inside of a house where you're like, why is this brick exposed in here? This doesn't make any sense. There's carpet on the ground, but there's exposed brick up here. Like there are things that just like didn't make sense, and it's just cavernous. And the idea also of being a kid and staying in this house and like just wandering around, your parents are like in a different part of it. I mean, that's essentially like what kind of happened depending on who you're talking to. But first I want to get into the Ramseys, and I'm going to get into the house. And then we're going to keep fucking going.
We're not going to stop.
We'll never stop. Well, I said that a couple times today.
Yeah.
So, does it old yet? Or
no.
Okay.
We'll eventually stop.
That's fair. So John Ramsey was born in 1943 in Lincoln, Nebraska, and he graduated from Michigan State. He joined the Navy. He was a civil engineer. He worked in the Philippines. He was like so like baller from the start. He was just like dude sought after. But he like weird things followed him too, which is also kind of a theme of this, like tragedy and strange intersections of different murders and tragedies. But I digress. So he first married his college girlfriend, and they got divorced. They had 3 children. One of them died in a car crash when she was 22. So that had already been like a huge trauma in his life. And actually, JonBenet Ramsey is buried next to this woman in Atlanta. Like
it would be her half
sister.
Okay.
Yeah. So he already had to deal with that. But in 1989, he formed the Advanced Product Group, which was one of 3 companies that became Access Graphics that like merged, and then suddenly was bought by Lockheed Martin. So he had like a ton of money all of a sudden. Patsy Ramsey, Patricia, graduated from high school. She went to Western Virginia University. She was in a sorority. She won the Miss West Virginia beauty pageant title at 20, got her degree in journalism, and then at 23 met John Ramsey, and they got married like very soon after that. So they I couldn't find out exactly where they met, but it was like his second marriage. He was like an older, like wealthy dude, and she was this 23-year-old beauty queen. So already kind of an interesting dynamic, not, unknown to our culture. They had their first kid, their son Burke, on January 27th, 1987. And then 3 years later, on August 6th, 1990, there was JonBenet. And the first weird thing that I think everyone thinks about is like the portmanteau of like John and Benet, which is John Ramsey's first and middle name, JonBenet. But it's like, let's name our little girl this.
Yeah.
To like her father's first and middle name and like let her live her life.
Yeah.
You know? It's like Britney Spears' sister, Jamie Lynn.
Yeah.
Which is like it's like my dad's name and my mom's name.
Yeah.
It's gonna be my name now.
Yeah.
You know, it just feels very like weird.
Non-individual, like, lack of individuality, maybe. Like, it's a lot of imposing, maybe.
Yeah, it was also like expectation and like reverence.
We have the same last name.
Like I know we already like. How much do you want of me? So that's always a thing that like struck me as pretty creepy. So 6 years go by. They move in 1991 to Boulder, where the Access Graphics headquarters is located. The Ramseys purchased their 7,240 square foot, 15-room Tudor-style house at 755 15th Street for $500,000. 1991, pretty good deal.
Yeah.
Pretty good deal. According to the Boulder County record. So they're in this giant cavernous home. Everything is like pretty chill until December 25th, where John and Patsy Ramsey say they last saw their 6-year-old daughter alive at bedtime, and their 9-year-old son, Burke, kind of around the same time. They're like both going to bed. At 5:30 a.m. on December 26th, 1996, Patsy realized that her daughter was missing after she found a 2.5-page handwritten ransom note on the kitchen staircase. The note demanded $118,000 for the child's safe return.
Which is very specific.
Yeah. Well, it's almost the exact value
Yes.
of the bonus her husband
Yes.
had received earlier this year.
Yes.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Already like, what is happening? You know? I wish I could have found more about Christmas though. Like, what does JonBenet get for, like, what do rich parents, like, did they get like the dopest toys? Kind of a thing.
Or like high yield bonds.
Yeah, just like some investments in their name, kind of a thing. I don't know. I couldn't find out. There's not a lot of pictures too of how the house looked like, as you might imagine, like at that time. Like I was like dying to see JonBenet's room. There's some good documentaries out there too that kind of illustrate.
As
what
time has
happened.
gone on, there's always a lot of revisiting.
Exactly.
In the interviews, and you rewatch them.
We love it. I mean, we love this because there's so many weird things about it, you know? So JonBenet also, like, I didn't mention this, she had won a bunch of titles as a child beauty pageant queen. Her mom was her coach, obviously. Like, tale as old as time. Kind of like a drop-dead gorgeous style. Like, it's like a caricature of what, you know, like, who thought that things wouldn't go wrong kind of a thing, you know?
It's a celebrity... unsolved celebrity crime.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's automatically, it checks off a bunch of boxes that Americans in the world and news, I mean, it's just perfect for that.
Exactly. And have you seen footage of JonBenet Ramsey?
I just recently, maybe in the last year, was watching, I was really interested in watching the interviews with the mother and father.
Yeah, I mean that's a whole, like, there's so many, like, I went down like the
brother,
wormhole. The brother, it's a whole so fucked up. Like, it is such a weird dynamic. This house too also reminded me of the house in the staircase, kind of. Where it's like, I know it's in a different part of the country, but it's like a giant house, like very like rustic Tudor style. And it's like, who knows what fucking happens in there, you know? And this house also plays a big part in the murder, whatever people theorize to have happened, because it's like, it kept her kind of mysterious. It kept we'll get there. I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself, and I don't want to do that.
Yeah. You want to
Houses
pace
hold
yourself.
secrets, but I'm so excited. Okay, so back to the ransom note. It was unusually long, and I read it too, and it's like pretty boring, honestly. Like, it's kind of like a fucking dumb, boring, like, not like, we're not talking clippings of letters. We're just talking general handwriting.
Yeah.
On a pad.
Informative, minimalistic.
Yeah, like, not like super mean. You know, like, it was just like, can you deliver this money and 100% she'll live. Like, what are we doing here?
Yeah.
What are we fucking doing? Nothing good, it seems. So basically the ransom note was really long, and the FBI told the police that it was very unusual for a note to be written at the crime scene like that. The police believed that the note was staged because it didn't have any fingerprints and included an unusual use of exclamation marks and acronyms.
Ooh.
Yeah. So it's like 100%, like, and I don't know if I totally agree with this. There weren't a ton of exclamation marks, but it was, again, kind of friendly, kind of boring.
Yeah.
No intimidation factor.
I'm always interested in like handwriting analysis from a
Yeah.
psychological point of view.
Totally.
What all that means.
The note and a practice draft were written with a pen and pad of paper from the Ramsey home. According to a Colorado Bureau of Investigation report, there are indications that the author of the ransom note is Patricia Ramsey. However, they couldn't prove it. And that's a huge theme of this, too. It's like, all these things point to this, but we can't fucking prove it.
Yeah. There's a lot of theories going on.
Yeah, a lot of Patsy.
I was just talking to my wife, Michelle. I watched it with her. She's very, 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 very into this case.
Yeah.
And she's super familiar and the theories that are kind of going on right now. I don't know if this is her exact one, but she has like kind of like a working theory.
Oh fuck! Well, she's right into us.
I'll be
Michelle.
Her. By proxy, I'll be
ghosttownpod@gmail. Yeah. So the only people known to be in the house on the night of JonBenet's death was her immediate family: Burke, her brother, Patsy, and John. The ransom note contains specific instructions that the police and friends should not be contacted, but Patsy telephoned the police at 5:52 a.m. She called her family or friends. Everyone knew. She put it on Facebook. She sent out a couple tweets.
So interesting.
Yeah, Sky writing.
What did she put? Was it on Facebook?
No.
Oh, okay. Because I was like,
no, it's not. It didn't exist.
Because I was like, yeah, Facebook would. But that is interesting though. When how unfortunately, crime like this somebody will be putting it on Facebook, and that will become part of like the evidence of something or something. Yeah.
No, it's very true, and just the way that the law is changing because of email, because of social media, is really fascinating too. Yeah. I would love to talk to someone about that. When I worked on an investigation discovery show, that was like we did a couple episodes of kind of more contemporary things. Like for example, oh my god, I forget her Gypsy. Gypsy
Rose.
Yeah. And how like she posted on Facebook when she was essentially telling the world that her mom died.
Yeah.
Gypsy Rose Blanchard. Yeah. And that was a huge part. Like Facebook played a huge part in this murder, which is so fucking surreal nowadays. Yeah. Not in this murder, though. No.
Okay. Well, let's take a little break.
Okay.
Let's take a little break and we'll come right back.
I'm gonna get some water.
Yeah, you get some water and we'll get back into this.
Sounds good.
Ooh. We're back, and I know everyone's very upset because we haven't mentioned the Patreon.
Yeah.
And
and our pizza's not here yet.
Yeah.
And I'm very
pizza's not here
hungry.
yet, and we haven't mentioned the Patreon, but we get 2 bonus episodes a month.
Yeah.
There's another tier where you can get mentioned on an episode, and you can mention maybe a website, or if you have a podcast, this is a great place to do whatever it is. Could be anything, could be nothing.
Yeah.
It's patreon.com/ghosttownpod to help support the show.
Help support us.
We can do things
It's
on location.
Christmas.
Yeah, come on.
It's Christmas.
Yeah, it is Christmas. We're in the Christmas kind of zone here.
We're in Christmas zone.
Yeah. What are you? Before we get back
to it, yeah, let's emphasize that this is a Christmas app.
Yeah, so
Christmas
you
themed.
have to hear what we are also doing.
We had some Christmas pizza with pineapple and mushrooms.
Yeah. Now you know I don't like olives.
Now you know, you guys.
Yeah.
Out on the airwaves.
Yeah.
No, I'm not doing anything for Christmas, which I love. I love being in LA over Christmas. Because first of all, this is like a very work obsessed town. But when you're here over Christmas, nobody is here. It's like pretty emptied out. And then the people who are here are in this like weird headspace of like, whatever.
It's like, but it's also like a lot of reflection, I imagine.
Whatever. Yeah. Or just like, you got a party to go. Like, I got to do something. Like, I think everyone's like so eager to like hang out or just like do an activity. It's great.
And it's the end of the year. People are probably thinking a little bit like, what have I done this year?
Mm-hmm. I had a Christmas party last year, and a guy I went on one date with, I invited him. I knew him through friends, but I invited him if he wanted to come to my Christmas party and like bring some friends, whatever. He was the first person there. He was wearing a Santa hat. He brought a big thing of tequila that he finished himself, and he was the last guy to leave. This is a Christmas miracle.
Yeah. Did anything kind of come from that?
The last text he sent me was, he was like, I want to cook you. You're so interesting. I want to cook you a chicken dinner. Yes or no? And then he sent me the emoji of, you guys can't see this, but it's like 2 arms, like making an X. What do you think that means?
I don't know.
Never heard from him again.
I would like it if he ended it though. Is like, you're really interesting. I want to cook you. And just stop.
That'd be. I'd be like interested.
Yeah, that'd be like, ooh, dangerous.
You're interesting too. Yeah.
This is a little. That's not so fun fact. I've been living in California, at least most of it in LA, for about 14 years. Aside from one other year, this will be only other year that I have not gone back to New York / New Jersey.
Oh, what are you doing?
Las Vegas, baby.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
Oh, yeah.
Vegas.
Yeah.
Rat Pack.
Well, that's where Michelle
Buffets.
went to Las Vegas last year, and then I actually flew back from New York and met her in Las Vegas. But traveling to New York when you have like a family that's like a big family and everyone's all over the place, it's just a lot of shuffling around. I got actually either almost food poisoning or a really bad flu. I was like out for 2 days.
Ugh.
And I'm just getting too old and tired. It was just had like a long trip in Europe. I don't really feel like getting on another plane.
Yeah.
So this will be kind of interesting. But I think
Actually, it's going to be pretty fun, I think.
yeah, I think the thing about tradition, like, but this is what I do. Even though I want to physically be there, I just don't want to, besides the fact that it's cold, but everyone's running around. Like, no one has, like, time for me. And I'm very demanding.
Yeah. You need a place that will give you the attention you deserve, which is Las Vegas, Nevada.
Yeah, it's just some kind of Christmas-themed slot machines.
Yeah, slot machines, buffets, like, like the people there, it's going to be an interesting crew, too. You're going to have to report back because... Man, it's going to be, a bunch of people like down on their luck. A lot of divorced dads, I bet, just fucking shooting the shit, seeing what they find.
It's funny you talk about divorced dads, and I don't want to tease too much, but bonus episode that is Patreon only is going to reference divorced dads. Letting you know right now, Rebecca.
And if it doesn't yet, we'll make sure it does.
You'll work it in there.
We're working it because we make promises that we keep here at Ghost Town.
It's divorced dads is kind of like the focus of this bonus episode. So patreon.com /
Also, if there's any single divorced dads that listen to the podcast, I mean, I'm interested.
Yeah.
You were
responsible. You don't have to be divorced. Really.
Yeah,
think about
be
it.
A dad, divorced dad, not a dad.
Dad, not divorced.
Married dad.
Dad, not.
I don't care.
You don't have to.
Really?
You don't
Come to my Christmas party.
You don't even have to be anything. You could just be an idea.
Come as you are.
Yeah. How about it just be a concept?
Yeah.
The concept of, I don't know, everlasting life. The concept of happiness.
Yeah. It's youth in society.
Yeah.
I don't know. Be a term paper.
It doesn't matter.
I don't care.
The point is, wear a Santa hat and bring a thing of tequila.
Chain smoking.
Just before we get into it, we're going to get into
it.
It's Christmas.
It's Christmas.
Come on.
In my whiny Jewish, it's Christmas.
Yeah. Two Jews letting you know that it's Christmas, everybody.
It's our Christmas episode.
We want to cash in on Christmas, please.
We like that too. We like commerce. We do Hanukkah shit.
Yeah.
Hanukkah too. I hate Hanukkah parties. I just want to say quickly.
How do you go to?
I've gone to a couple. It's just like everyone. Okay, I like a latke.
Yeah.
But like you go to a Hanukkah party, it's so hot because people are frying things for 4 hours. And you're sitting here playing a dreidel. You're eating shitty chocolate gelt. Wow. You give me a Christmas party with some eggnog any day. Yeah. Well, what were you gonna say?
I don't know. I don't know what I was gonna even get into.
Patreon.
No, we already talked about the Patreon.
Okay,
I'm good.
More Patreon?
No, I'm good. I got it.
All
no,
right.
yeah. I mean, we're two Jews that want to let you know about Christmas, and we want to cash in on that too. Mm-hmm. Thank you for that.
Help us know us.
Yeah, help us not help you.
Yeah, exactly. All right, should I get back to it or what?
Let's get back to it.
Let's get back to it
because I'm really actually I'm pretty excited about this.
Exactly. So they couldn't prove the ransom note was Patsy Ramsey. The only people in the house were the family, right? She telephones everybody. The officers searched the house but didn't find any sign of forced entry, right?
Important.
Very important, right? So Officer Rick French, and this is very strange.
Cool name.
Rick French, right? Just like he's there. He probably does like really well with the Colorado ladies. Yeah. Like there's like a fun hotel bar that he meets
Ricky
women.
French.
Right? Hey,
Son of a gun.
Ricky for a flirtini. Ooh, yeah, exactly. So he went to the basement, which we'll put a picture up of the basement. I talked about it. There's a lot of exposed stones, and it's a very large finished basement. And came to a door that was secured by a wooden latch. He paused for a moment in front of the door, but then just walked the fuck away from it. He was like, this is clear. This is secure.
Yeah. Based on what? Intuition?
Let's go check some other shit, I guess. And I assume when police are canvassing a place for a murder victim or evidence, like you check everything. I know it's a big house and you got to get home so you can go to happy hour with your best lady. But like,
But I wonder, like, it was Rick French was the Colorado police. Were they equipped to investigate a murder like this?
well, that is always a theme of these things too. No, the answer is no.
Yeah.
So many things are tampered with. We'll get into that soon. But the same thing with like making a murder. The police, they're usually just like hanging out, giving people parking tickets, dealing with bylaws. They're not used to a giant national scale murder like what
of
this
a
would become.
wealthy, prominent
Yeah.
family, which probably, I'm sure there's got to be a tiny bit of red tape going around, like a tiny
Right.
bit of like, hey,
don't
listen,
bother us. It's Christmas. Like where it's a
Yeah.
distraught family.
you know, we donate to the police fund. I don't know.
Exactly. So eventually the Ramseys like were going to pay the ransom, right? A forensics team came to the house. They initially believed that JonBenet had been kidnapped because they couldn't find her, even though they didn't check the whole of the house. So, okay. So JonBenet's bedroom was the only room in the house that was cordoned off to prevent contamination of evidence. The only room of this giant house.
Yeah.
That's it. So, like, even then, no process was taken to prevent any contamination of evidence anywhere else. Who knows what was happening? Whose gummy little fingerprints? Burke's fucking... Who the fuck knows? Meanwhile, friends and family's minister arrived at the home to support the Ramseys. Victim advocates also arrived at the scene. Visitors picked up and cleaned the surfaces of the kid. They were like, we're just helping out. We're just like, they're like going like tromping through the house, cleaning things, making things in the oven. They were like, we're here to help. And the police were like, okay, yeah, make this rich family at home. Instead of being like, no, everybody get the fuck out.
Right.
This isn't like a community, like a meeting center.
And
it's a crime scene.
This is like relatively recently. I mean, even if you watch a procedural or watch any, like you would like that would be your at least your instinct.
Yeah. Another detective, Linda Arndt, arrived at about 8 a.m. with the goal of awaiting the kidnapper's instructions, but there was never an attempt to claim the money. The money just kind of gets like falls to the wayside a little bit, right? So at 1 p.m., so this, again, it's been like 7-8 hours. Detective Arndt asked John and a family friend to see if the house, just if anything was amiss. So like, hey, possible murder and your best friend, why don't you just like, look around. Just check shit out. Just see if we missed anything.
Yeah.
You know, the casserole's in the oven. There's 40 people in the living room, but like, just check it out. Just see. So John and his friend Fleet White started their search in the basement, interestingly enough. They didn't start in her room. John finally opened the latch door that Officer French had failed to open and found his daughter's body in one of the rooms. And again, it was still pretty cavernous. It was they describe it as a wine cellar. It's not really like it is, but it's just more of like a multi-purpose finished basement. JonBenet's mouth was covered with duct tape. A nylon cord was found around her wrists and neck. Her torso was covered by a white blanket. The autopsy revealed that she had been killed by strangulation and a skull fracture. There was no evidence of rape, although sexual assault could not be ruled out. There was no semen found, but there had been a vaginal injury at the time of the how come I can't say autopsy?
I don't know, but you're going to have to say it a bunch of times, so get used to it.
It appeared her vaginal area had been wiped with a cloth. Her death was ruled a homicide. So basically, it was like she was wrapped in nylon cord and a broken handle of a paintbrush was tied around her neck and had been used to strangle her.
Like a tourniquet type
yeah,
thing?
like a tourniquet, like a whatever. Part of the bristle end of the paintbrush was found in a tub containing Patsy's art supplies, but the bottom third of it was never found despite extensive searching of the house by police in subsequent days. So it's like, now the police are on it. Okay. It's also like, how many things of the family do you need to implicate the family?
And also, statistically, it's the family.
Yeah.
Even if it's not, statistically,
it's
it's
like
the family.
Occam's razor. Like,
Yeah,
what is
yeah.
the easiest explanation? Even though, again, rich people in this country have it. This is going to be revolutionary. Rich people in this country have it easy. They don't often
That's just
have
a
to be
working theory
held
you have, though.
accountable. This is a fringe Reddit theory I read in all caps.
I also think the 90s were kind of like rich people getting away with things.
Oh yeah, rich people. It was like cool to be rich in the in the 90s. It's like pop collar, like you want to seem rich. You know, it's not like now. It's like cool
OJ
to, exactly.
A few years before was
exactly. You're always like nightclub yuppie shit. It was still like pretty prevalent at this part of time in history. So there was that weird paintbrush shit. The autopsy, got it right this time.
Nice.
Don't make me say it again, though. Also revealed a vegetable or fruit material which may represent pineapple. They're like, it may be pineapple, it may not be pineapple, but it was probably pineapple, which JonBenet had eaten a few hours before her death. Photographs of the home taken on the day when JonBenet's body was found show a bowl of pineapple on the kitchen table with a spoon in it. Bingo! However, both John and Patsy said they didn't remember putting the bowl on the table or feeding her any fucking pineapple.
So, and that would be middle of the night pineapple.
Yeah, that's like post-Christmas. What Christmas treat do you want, little girl?
Oh, how about a little bowl of
how about a canned pineapple?
So is it like was she, I think was she woken up in the middle of the night and says, hey, you want to have some pineapple?
Yeah. Well, Burke Ramsey's fingerprints were on the bowl. So there's a little something. But yeah, who the fuck knows? Is it a Christmas ritual? Like, yeah, late night pineapple? Is that a thing? The Ramseys have always maintained that Burke slept through the whole thing until he was awakened several hours later after the police arrived. Do you believe that? Later, they found DNA belonging to an unknown male person on JonBenet's body, but the sample didn't match any profile in the database. In October 2016, new forensic analysis revealed that the original DNA was actually 2 people, not just 1 person. But they still don't know who that is. So DNA has failed us time and time again.
Well, it seemed like probably if you had to do it all over again, they probably should have done it a lot differently.
Yeah. It's not fair. DNA has not failed us.
Yeah.
I mean, the system has failed us, and DNA is a helpful tool if you
Competency
use it correctly.
level seems to be pretty low.
Yeah. But the most important and most critical error of all of this was that when John Ramsey found his dead daughter's body wrapped in a blanket, he picked it up and brought her upstairs. It's just like the most important area, this crime scene. He was just like, come on, let's go.
Well, I mean, like, how about this with little I'm just going to throw little things at you. What about being like, well, let me put my fingerprints and DNA on her. You see me doing that.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's very obvious, And also, again, the idea of a police person, an investigator being like, hey, potential criminal and best friend, why don't you just canvass the house one last time? Like, they shouldn't have been anywhere near the house, really. They should have been taken elsewhere. The whole house should have been like alone for investigators to investigate, forensics people to go through.
Who doesn't want to go into a locked door?
Yeah.
It's probably the most basic.
Everything in your career leads up to this.
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
What was it? Do you have any theories about that? Does Michelle?
I haven't talked specifically about that. I either imagine it's incompetency. It's. I don't think police officers want it to be bad. Nobody wants it to be bad, but I don't think they want the spotlight of an unsolved. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Thing on them, and maybe it's. Listen, if you go there, you walk in there, and you don't open it, you have a feeling. Either there's nothing behind there, or there's something behind there, and for the same reason, you do not open that door.
Exactly. So the Ramseys provided handwriting, blood, hair samples to the police. They had a preliminary interview for more than 2 hours. Burke was interviewed as well, and nothing was found conclusive. It is, interestingly enough, the last night they would ever spend in the house again. So on January 1st, the Ramseys grant an exclusive interview to CNN where Patsy famously said, "A killer's on the loose." And this is something that is so interestingly dissected too. Seeing the two parents and their dynamics, there's so many theories on this interview, on the way each of them kind of play a part, each of them react, the reaction, the non-reaction. It's really, really fascinating. On January 3rd, investigators announced the note was torn from a tablet of paper in the house. JonBenet has her funeral in Atlanta, and the Ramseys come back to Colorado. In April, John and Patsy are the focus of the investigation, and Patsy Ramsey is interrogated for 6.5 hours, which is also, I know that's a long time, but your daughter is dead.
And you want to do anything you can to help?
Yeah, exactly. John is interrogated for 2 hours, and after this, there's so much pushback because Patsy's like, I already did this big interview, kind of a thing. There's so much of them not wanting to be interviewed after this that it's like, what the so you spent half a day trying to get your daughter's killer. I'm sorry, we are inconveniencing you again. No, please proceed. I'm sorry, kind of a thing. Then basically they there's a big grand jury case which goes underway. And in February 1998, a group of investigators buy the house for $650,000, pledging to resell it and donate the profits to the JonBenet Ramsey Children's Foundation. The address is changed to 749 15th Street in 2001 at the request of a tenant who is negotiating to buy the home. Who lives in this home? Who wants to be here? I don't know.
We want to go there.
I want to go there.
Yeah,
I don't want to I'm in and out though, you know
Yeah, yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, what are we doing here? So a grand jury was convened September 15th, 1998. So it's almost been a year to consider indicting the Ramseys for charges related to the case. In 1999, the grand jury returned a true bill to charge the Ramseys with placing a child at risk in a way that led to her death and with obstructing an investigation of murder, definitely, based on probable cause, standard applied in such a grand jury proceedings. But basically, they didn't prosecute them because they couldn't prove their guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. So it kind of it was off and on and off and on in 2002, 2003. And that the evidence in the case was said to be more consistent with the theory that an intruder murdered JonBenet than it was with the theory that Mrs. Ramsey did. And she was really the focus on, for the most part, the prime suspect of the family, which is interesting too, because we'll talk about the CBS thing, and it wasn't like that at all. So speaking of the house again, in 1999 to 2001, E.J. Doc Christ, the University of Colorado's speed, strength, and conditioning coach, rents the house before being fired and moving to California. This house is for a down and out kind of a person. They changed the address in 2001. In 2004, popular televangelists Tim and Carol Milner buy the house for $1.05 million. It's appreciating in value.
Yeah.
You know, I get that inflation is happening. July 2008, the house is listed for $2.68 million. In 2009, $2.29. We're going back down, $2.29 million. February 2011, $2.3 million. And then finally, 2014 is the last time it was put on the market for $1.98 million. Now, Patsy dies of ovarian cancer in 2006 at age 49. Very tragic. And the Ramseys were officially cleared due to insufficient evidence in 2008. But and I'm sure you know this. This is so fucking bizarre. After John Ramsey's wife, Patsy, dies, he meets Beth Holloway while attending a fundraiser. And the two begin dating. And Beth Holloway is the mother of Natalie Holloway, the Alabama student who disappeared in 2005 on her trip to Aruba.
Oh, yeah.
Do you remember this? Ramsey downplayed their relationship, saying that they developed a friendship of respect and admiration out of common interest related to their children. So this also reminds me of The Staircase, the guy from that, where it's crime and sadness and heartbreak. He keeps finding that. Are attracting them or something.
I mean, I understand that, you want somebody that gets you.
Yeah, well, it's Shania Twain married her. Did you hear this one? So Shania Twain was married to whatever her husband, music producer.
Mutt Lange.
Yeah, and he had an affair with this woman, and Shania Twain married her husband.
Oh, so just
Still the one is still a great song though.
Yeah. It's just, Listen, that don't impress me much. You know what I mean? That's my jam.
Oh yeah.
No, mine's that one. I like doesn't impress me much.
Yeah. So I get that people in grief and these things are so larger than life that you'd find consolation with someone else who's experienced it, but you don't have to date them.
It just reeks of conspiracy.
It's so weird. But he didn't marry her. He married a third wife in 2011. He also
and she didn't maybe murder anybody.
Yeah.
So that's nice.
Who knows? I mean, there's still have time. They're still both alive.
Yeah.
We'll see. So it was investigated on and off, still the case, in September 2016. And then in 2017, last year, CBS did a special that featured full-scale replicas of the home, which are really crazy, and they must have spent so much money. But did you see this special?
No, I not that
I bet
one.
Michelle did. Holy shit. It's they do so much shit, and it's inconclusive kind of a thing. And they heavily implicate Burke, and then their parents kind of covering it up.
And Burke is the son.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And his violent tendencies.
Well, that's what Michelle was
Yeah.
talking. So the son that who's obviously very, very violent, and they're covering it up for. They're well, we already lost. Our daughter. Are we gonna? I mean, that's classic in TV shows and procedurals and movies.
Yeah.
It's parents covering up for with their child, because they're like, well, now we're going to lose both of them.
Yeah.
Is that justice? You know what I mean?
I get, but it's also like your life is going to be destroyed anyway. And he was young enough where even if they were like came clean about it, if that were the case, like it's not like he would have gone to jail for the rest of his life. Also, they were very rich people. They could have
I'm
had a
sure
good
they
defense.
could, they could have.
Interesting choice, Ramsey's, if that's the case. But they're both Burke Ramsey and John Ramsey sued CBS for like 250, 100 million, millions of hundreds of dollars because of they so heavily did that. And I did a little recon on Burke. He's got a girlfriend. He works from home. He has like a chill, like kind of office coordinating job. He's in his early 30s, just living his life.
Yeah, I just wonder. I mean, I don't like. Does if he did do it, and you do you have that tendency? Do you grow up with that? Being like talking about being a sociopath or whatever that is. Do you just grow up being like, I can live with it? I can live with this.
Well, I don't know. Like, I'm sure the statute of limitations.
8, right? He was 8. Yeah.
Are that like if he were to confess, he would get investigated for sure. Like, it's not like it's like 40 years later kind of a thing. But I feel like if you're that young and you've committed a murder, you don't really remember it. Like you skewed it. Your parents probably told you didn't do it, kind of a thing. I think there's a lot of things at play that would convince you, which is good, like mercifully for your life, that you didn't do that. But again, like what is the truth? And it's, this poor girl is killed, and your kind of, I guess, your working theory. Or what would you think in this situation? Do you think he just hit her in the head with a frying pan, knocked her out, and then the parents came in and did added all the other bells and whistles, the tying her up, the choking, adding all that other stuff, like the vaginal shit.
I mean, and then obviously, the note, and I mean, I guess that that would make people think like, well, who else knew he got that 118,000? That
110 or something.
Something. Who knew who got? Is this somebody from his work that was jealous? You know, and what is the? I mean, obviously, reality TV had us obsessed with. I say the royal us obsessed with pageants, pageant moms. Yeah. Momagers, stage moms, stage dads, etc.
Just like a beautiful, like living doll child gets brutally murdered.
And what is it to be the mother? If the mother is, what is it to be the mother of that child? Does that change? Like, do you when you're putting so much money, time, yourself, your past failures into. And trying to make it right second time around. Yeah. What place does that bring you to?
I don't know. I mean, it's hard. And I honestly, I don't know if I believe. Okay, so we talk about the pineapple. She was found in this cellar area. The parents, I know, I think beyond a cover up, the parents had something to do with it. Because it's I think about my siblings. We were all very violent with each other.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Just brutal.
Yeah.
But you don't go somewhere else to be violent. Was she running away? I feel like there's parts of it that even if he did it and they were just covering it up, that still seem questionable to me. I get that he's maybe she was up, or that they're let's get some food or something. And he fed her some pineapple. But how did they get halfway across the house?
And was she? I wonder if was she. Hey, you want to? Was she woken up to be hey, you want to come downstairs at 2 in the whatever it was 3 in the morning and have some pineapple?
Yeah,
that doesn't sound very enticing for
weird.
even to the weirdest.
A little tiny girl to be I guess I'll get up and do this.
Yeah. So was she already up and something happened? Was she awoken for this to happen?
Yeah, I just don't understand it. But there were some things that I read about. Burke and JonBenet's rooms were really close to each other, which also why would you go downstairs to get this and then go somewhere totally else? Or the parents woke up, found them. There's a timeline of events that I hope in our lifetime we will find out about this. I'm not sure if we will, but something where it's taking us through all of this and finally explaining it.
Well, I mean, listen, a lot of podcasts have
let's solve it right now.
we're not the ones.
No.
Maybe
we can barely read it off a piece of paper.
Yeah,
so.
I mean, we also, I always imagine like, what if, let's say all of the the world and all the books and information were just decimated, and all that was left was this podcast. And for
my God.
future, like for other people to come here and be
Scary.
like, we got to learn about what was it like to be an Earthling, and they base it on.
They still say Earthling though.
Yeah, they say Earthling. Earthling. It's the 1950s. Like, what is it like to be an Earthling?
Yeah, exactly.
And they base it all on the information from this podcast.
I guess I would just want to like deeply apologize.
They'd
to
be like, "What is this Patreon deal?"
Advance. Shut the fuck up
Yeah,
about
yeah,
Patreon.
Patreon.
We don't use what is money.
Yeah,
so
yeah, exactly.
we don't understand.
Yeah, but it is patreon.com/ghosttownpod. Whether you are listening from another planet or you're just listening,
Or here, or under deep below us in some kind of underground cave, or a
Yeah.
wine cellar. I don't know.